here at 10 o'clock.
What's the word, YouTube? It's your boy Big Will. We're back with another episode of Life After Prison. So we got a Florida rapper here who just can't seem to learn his lessons. Mr. Adams thinks, I guess, that he's above the law, that they won't ever get him for murder. You go from beating a double murder charge, you get acquitted, to killing your unborn baby's mother. I can't fathom it. You're free. You beat it. So you think you're that invincible, huh? You think, let me try the self-defense role again, because the first time it worked. My guy, this is a pregnant girl. You're in fear that much of your life, huh, that you had to kill her? Maybe the first time they got you, only because the instructions that they gave the jury, they couldn't convict you, right? This time I don't think they're going to miss, my guy. They got you. Let's go ahead and listen.
A friend who's accused of killing her snuffed out her future. Billy Adams lured Elena Sims with a promise of a party days after he was acquitted of double murder. And tonight, in a story you'll only see on Fox 13, one juror tells us they knew he would kill again. Fox 13's Janae Lewis joins us live in studio with this powerful story. Hi there, Janae. What exactly brought this juror to come forward?
Mark, the juror decided to speak with us given the publicity of the case because he wanted people to understand their role. He says it was a horrible feeling to see Sims' death happening just days after Adams' acquittal. January 27, 2023, more than 2 years after being charged with the murders of Trayvon Albury and Daniel Thompson.
State of Florida versus Billy Adams III.
Billy Adams would hear the jury's verdict on murder charges. On count 1,
the defendant is not guilty.
on count 2,
The defendant is not guilty.
visible relief on Adams' face, but now we know the jury wasn't exactly comfortable with its decision.
I want to make clear that no one on the jury actually believed Billy Adams' testimony. But we didn't have to believe his testimony. What we needed to find was proof of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And we could not find that.
Asking us to conceal his identity for safety, this juror spoke exclusively to Fox 13, calling the deliberations intense and initially divided.
I feel strongly because the prosecution left gaping holes in their case, and they did not equip us with what we needed to reach a verdict of premeditated first-degree murder.
Adams claimed he was in fear for his life when he fired the fatal shots in a home recording studio. He even took the stand and testified in his own defense. Criminal defense attorneys not involved with this case say these kinds of cases are always tough for prosecutors.
It's hard because there's 3 people in that recording studio, okay? 2 of them come out deceased. There's only one person's story left. You know, they always say there's always 2 sides to a story. Well, when you're there alone and you're the only survivor, there's really only one side, right? And the state can suggest so much evidence. They can suggest so much as you murder them. But they don't ultimately know what happened there. They don't know if these 2 guys pulled a knife on them, pulled a gun on them. And when you come out alone and it's your story, that's all they got really to go on, you know? So a jury of 12 people who are listening to one person's story, that's what they listen to. That's what they go on, you know? And sometimes they tend to believe the one person that's there. There's nothing to contradict his story. Now, maybe the state comes back with different charges, not first-degree premeditated murder. They suggest that he thought about killing these 2 guys They're suggesting that he called them to the studio where he planned and executed their murder. Maybe he did. Maybe that's what happened. But the state has to prove it. And when you're a defendant, you don't have to prove that you're innocent. Legally, all you're supposed to show is reasonable doubt that there could have been other aspects to the story. There could have been an ultimate, a different outcome to that story. It's not what the state suggests. And as a defendant, that's all you have to prove is reasonable doubt. Legally, that's all you have to prove. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of cases where the jury disregards that, right? And they go on evidence or they go on emotions and they convict people, right? Even though they've showed reasonable doubt. The YNW Melly case, their lawyers showed reasonable doubt. He should have been acquitted. Their lawyers showed reasonable doubt. Okay? It don't matter if the shots came from the back seat where they say he was seated. That car could have stopped. He could have gotten in the driver's seat. Bolton could have gotten in the back seat and shot. It's reasonable doubt. There's not 100% proof to show that he was in the back seat and did the shooting. Okay? Aaron Hernandez case. There was reasonable doubt he should have been acquitted. There was other people there. And it don't matter if suspect A says suspect B shot. Because if suspect B says suspect A shot, it's reasonable doubt, right? Legally, you're supposed to be acquitted. But some cases, they don't go on that, right? They don't use that legal mumbo jumbo. They go on, oh, this is what the state says happened, so this is what must have happened. Well, in this case, he's the only survivor. You know, it's tough. It's tough for a state to prove when there's only one person left.
Prosecutors.
Especially in a case like this, where you have a defendant who takes the stand and he tells the story and he looks the jurors in the eyes in a convincing manner, explaining why he felt that it was necessary for him to act in self-defense and kill them before he could be killed.
He was not justified in his actions when he shot and killed Trayvon Ellery and Daniel Thompson.
The juror we spoke with says the state didn't present sufficient evidence to prove otherwise.
The prosecution, while it's not required to provide a motive, didn't provide a motive. So we had to say either this young man, for no apparent reason, got up and executed in cold blood these two men, who he may have come there with or may not have come there with, or his story.
He says instructions were clear. The state must prove premeditated murder beyond a reasonable doubt. So the jury voted to acquit Adams, even though it left at least some...
Beyond a reasonable doubt. Meaning that there's no other explanation. There's no other ending. I doubt it could have happened some other way. I doubt it reasonably could happen some other way. You know, unreasonably, a spaceship came down and blew this guy out. That's unreasonable. You know, but reasonably it could have happened another way. Reasonable doubt. It's all you have to show. And in this case, sad to say, although he may have murdered these two kids, the jury did their job, you know.
Some of them with an uneasy feeling.
To have to free someone when you thoroughly believe he probably was guilty, it's a terrible thing to do. I even said to one of the other jurors, the other jurors stated that he'll be back here. And I said, yes, but then there'll be another body.
And less than 3 days after his acquittal, Tampa police would find the body of 22-year-old Elena Sims feet away from her young son sleeping. Police would quickly link Adams to her death, alleging he lured her there, then shot and killed the pregnant woman because he didn't want to be a father. When this juror heard that news,
It came as quite a shock, even though I expected at some point he might reoffend. I didn't think it would be just a few days after we acquitted him.
He believes the next jury Billy Adams faces will be in a better position.
We had to follow the law, and I'm glad that in this second case, this second trial, there will be apparently overwhelming evidence of his guilt. The next jury will be able to take this person off the streets for good.
We received a statement from the state attorney's office that reads in part, while we respect the verdict of the jury in the prior case, we disagreed with it, and that is why we prosecuted him. We will continue to work with TPD to prosecute him for these latest crimes. Adams was denied bond in the most recent case, where he's also claiming self-defense. Police say Adams admitted to the latest killing after the stories he gave him didn't add up.
Jenny Lewis with us live in our studio. Jenny, thanks very much.
You know, this scumbag, because he didn't want to be a father, he killed this young lady feet away from her young son. So she had another child, and he killed her. So you don't want to be a father. Convince her to have an abortion. Give up your rights. You don't take someone's life. Just for that, you're a scumbag. Whether you beat it or you don't, you're a scumbag. This girl had another child. And if she chose to give birth to your child, knowing the POS that you are, that would have been her problem, her decision to make. That would have been her struggle in her life, because ultimately you wouldn't be there to support the kid, right? But you go and kill the girl. You know, not saying it's right, but you could have hit her in the stomach and caused her having a miscarriage. Something other than taking her life away. Or you don't want to punch her in the stomach, because then she can testify against you and you'll go to jail for a couple years. And now look at your life, you moron. Look at your life. You snuffed out her life and you took your own again. After God gave you a chance the first time. Gave you a chance. I don't know what's so special about you that God gave you a second chance, but he did. And you spit right in his face. You throw it away. You think you're beating this one? You think you're beating this one? My guy, you're done. And rightfully so. I hope you get the same fate that this girl got. They got that punishment. It's called the death penalty. And I think it fits you. But let me know what you all think. It's your boy Big Will. Hey, life after prison. Do me a favor. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Like and subscribe. Do me that favor. It's free, it's easy, it takes a second. Help me even if you don't like me, if you don't like my channel. Just hit the button. You don't have to come back. I want you to. But let me know what you all think in the comments below. What do you think? He's done? You think he's done with this one? You think he deserves the ultimate punishment? Or do you think he deserves to rot in some prison and do hard time and face the challenges and stresses of prison? Let me know what you all think in the comments. It's your boy Big Will, Life After Prison TV. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.